Alright, here's our second video on solving inequalities that require more than one step. It's probably a good idea to watch the first one as well if you have not yet, because all four of the examples are a little bit different. Alright, so this first example, kind of our checklist is you look for distributing, we don't have any, then you look to see if you have variables on both sides of the inequality, which we do not have, and then you just start solving our two-step inequality. So first thing we'll deal with is the subtracting 9. We will go ahead and add 9 to both sides. Now, when the n is on the right side of the inequality, do you guys see this 11 over here? I'm not going to do anything with that 11. I'm only going to focus on the 3 and this 9 right here. Those are the only numbers I'm going to get to the other side. So just be careful about that. I'm seeing some people put everything on one side and it's messing up our solution. So we're going to deal with the 3 and the 9. First is to add 9 to both sides. So we have 20 is greater than or equal to n over 3. And now as being divided by 3, the opposite of that is to multiply by 3 on both sides. If you notice, I'm multiplying by a positive number that will not flip the inequality. So it's going to stay 60 is greater than or equal to n. You can graph from this if you would like. If you notice, it is pointing to the n, the inequality, which means that n is the smaller value. So n is less than the 60, so we will shade to the left. However, if you prefer to rewrite this, you can flip the entire thing. The n goes on the left, the inequality flips, and the 60 goes on the right. So you can see it's still pointing to the n, so we didn't change what was bigger or what was smaller. So n is less than or equal to 60. On our number line here, you've got 60, 59 on the left, 61 on the right. This is going to be a closed circle at 60. Our solution will include the 60, and n can be anything less than that value, so less than we will shade to the left. Alright, next example, no distributing to do. We do not have m's on both sides of the inequality, so we start solving. One thing to note here, we have this negative 1/2 connected to our m. That's my hint right now that I will end up flipping this inequality in the end. But we'll take care of that when we get there. First, we are adding 5, so we will subtract 5 from both sides. So we have negative 1/2 m is less than or equal to 20. Now this negative 1/2 is being multiplied by m. The opposite of that is to divide both sides by a negative 1/2. Divide by a negative 1/2. So we just divided both sides of the inequality by a negative number. That is the part that flips the inequality. So now m will be greater than or equal to some value. I'm going to move that down a little bit so I can do this fraction work. 20 divided by a negative 1/2. Here's what we're saying. 20 is being divided by a negative 1/2. So here's what the work looks like on that. Let's make 20 a fraction. And when you divide fractions, you have 20 over 1. We're going to multiply by the reciprocal. So you flip the second one and multiply. This becomes a 2 over negative 1, which is 40 over negative 1. And 40 divided by negative 1 is negative 40. And then let's go ahead and just graph that on the number line. You've got negative 40, negative 39 over on the right, and negative 41. This will be a closed circle on 40 because it's a greater than or equal to. The or equal to piece fills in our circle, and then which way are we shading? M is greater than this value, so heading to the right on our number line gets us to the greater values. And there you go, solving multi-step inequalities.